Welcome back to New Hampshire, where we're now just 2 days from the first in the nation primary. Joining us now, Governor John Kasich of Ohio. And Governor, welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
With all the fuss over Marco Rubio last night, you said something big that it seemed to me kind of flew under the radar. You said in your first 100 days as president, you will submit a comprehensive immigration reform plan to Congress, including a path to citizenship.
No, I didn't say path. It's a path to legalization.
Path to legalization,
yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, I mean, what I proposed is, look, first of all, we're going to freeze all federal regulations for 1 year and have a vice president begin to deregulate, look at the things that don't make sense, get rid of them. Number two, we're going to have tax cuts both for businesses and for individuals. Number three, we're also going to restrain government so we can get to a balanced budget. Number four, let's get the border fixed. Number five, let's start working on Social Security, all within 100 days.
Let's go back to number four, because you didn't say let's just get the border fixed. You said, and you're quite right, comprehensive immigration reform,
sure,
including a path to legalization.
Yeah, right. For those that, look, here's the deal. Finish the wall, have a guest worker program where people can come in, work, and go home. And then for the 11.5 million who are here who have not committed a crime since they've been here, then a path to legalization.
But what about the argument, and you hear this from a lot of Republicans, that you have to fix the borders?
Yeah, you have to.
Before you even begin to discuss legalization.
No, you'd get it all done. Just get the border done and do the whole thing. And look, Chris,
do it at the same time?
And I'm not. If somebody says we got to sequence it, I don't have a problem with that. If they say, okay, first get the border, then in 6 months we do this, that's just a little detail. But we need to get it done. And look, I've done 100 town hall meetings here. I've met with more people in New Hampshire face-to-face than anybody running for president. I've done this all over the country. The country's ready for solutions. Contrary to what we hear from the pundits, the country wants answers, and they want them to be conservative answers, but they don't want to just say, okay, forget it. We don't care what the Democrats think. People say, how are you going to bring people together? They ask me that all the time, and you know what? I've done it all of my career.
Okay. You point out, you just had your 100th town hall. I think the only person who's ever had more is John McCain.
We got more coming.
You better hurry. You've spent almost 2 months here, but I looked at your cash on hand. You're almost broke.
No, I don't know that that's true.
I think you got about like $1 million, which is not a lot of money in campaigns. Here's my question. Don't you have to finish first here among the so-called four establishment candidates?
First of all, I'm not an establishment candidate. I have never been in the establishment. I'm not anti-establishment.
But I've spent 18 years in Congress.
Yeah, but you know what? I shook the whole system up. I'm offering budgets against my own president, trying to get to a balanced budget when I thought he fell short. I reformed the welfare system. I was involved in reforming the Pentagon as a Republican. I said after we did welfare, I said if you're going to reform welfare for the poor, we ought to reform it for the rich. And I did all those things.
I asked you in the debate. You said you're kind of an inside-outside guy. You're a hybrid.
Right.
But don't you have to finish first among the so-called hybrid?
Look, all I have to do is finish to a point where we all think that we did well here, and we're going to do well. I have an army of people, Chris, the best ground game. Gordon Humphrey says best ground game that he's seen in 40 years. Look, here's the situation. People want to be with a winner rather than make one, or be with a leader rather than make one. A lot of people who have money. We do well here. First of all, we are organized. We're on the ground in South Carolina. We have people there. We have people in Nevada. Look, Mississippi right now, we could have election tomorrow and I'd win because of Trent Lott. We're in Michigan. We're all over the place.
All right. The knock on you, and quite frankly, watching TV here in New Hampshire the last few days, I see these negative ads over and over again.
I haven't run any. Isn't that interesting? I actually run a positive campaign.
Well, okay, but the knock on you is that you're the, quote, Obama Republican, as the ad puts it. I'm sure you've seen it.
No, I haven't. But
well, okay.
But we can look at it, though, if you have it. Okay, good.
Common Core, Obama's Medicaid expansion, tax increases. Barack Obama? No. John Kasich.
Now, net, we checked it out. You have raised some taxes, but you overall.
No.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
You have raised some taxes, but net, you've lowered taxes overall.
By $5 billion.
But all the rest of that is true.
Well, wait a minute. First of all, we cut taxes by $5 billion, more than any governor in America. There's nobody balanced as many budgets as I have, cut as much taxes.
But you offer Common Core.
Okay, first of all, wait a minute. First of all, Chris, I've proposed taking 104 federal education programs, putting them into 4 buckets and sending them to the states. I have been clear from the very beginning that I support high standards and local control. That's exactly what we do in Ohio. Our state school board approves the standards, and the local school boards are the ones that create the curriculum. I am for total local control, not for anything out of Washington. The education programs are all going to be moved back to the state.
Common Core is all local control, and you have said proudly that you're for higher Common Core standards.
I'm for high standards, which our state school board approves, okay, and they're going through it again with the local boards of education approving the curriculum with the advice and consent of parents. It's actually in our budget proposal. You can't be more local than that.
Let's take a look at the...
Let's talk about Obamacare stuff.
Yeah, let's look at that because you talk about it in one of your ads. Let's run that.
My record? I've cut taxes, balanced budgets, created jobs, and rejected Obamacare without leaving anyone behind.
Now, you say rejected Obamacare. Right. There are a number of leading conservatives who say that's flat wrong because
yeah, go ahead.
You pushed for the expansion of Medicaid, which is a pillar of Obamacare. In fact, you pushed for it so hard, you went around your Republican-controlled state legislature to impose it. Expansion of Medicaid.
Okay, can I explain this?
Yes, okay. Absolutely.
Ronald Reagan expanded Medicaid 5 times. I can expand Medicaid without having to have Obamacare. Number one.
But it was part of Obamacare.
Can I finish? It doesn't matter. We could expand it without Obamacare. What I've said is, first of all, I'd repeal Obamacare. Secondly, I'm in court suing people to stop Obamacare. Thirdly, we did not create a state exchange under Obamacare. And the fact is I will repeal it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the healthcare system to a point where it's really free market driven by paying for hospitals and doctors that deliver quality healthcare at lower prices. So don't try to hang me up on Obamacare. I don't like it because it doesn't control the cost of medicine. Secondly, it hamstrings small business. And thirdly, it's driven up the cost of health insurance in my state by 80%. Reagan did it 5 times by expanding Medicaid. And by the way, our Medicaid program has gone from over 10% growth to 2.5% in my second budget.
Governor?
Yeah? Oh, you mean that's it?
It's a pleasure to talk.
I want to talk longer.
Well, I understand that.
Listen, isn't it interesting?
I want to be 6 feet tall, but it's not going to happen. You got to go.
Here's the last thing. I have run a completely positive campaign about bringing people together. The establishment, quote, establishment people have spent $5, $6, $7 million running ads against me. You know, it would be great if we can win. Being positive, huh?
I'm
change politics. So we need the support of the people from New Hampshire. All right, thank you.
Say goodbye.
All right, goodbye, everybody.